Yes, now it started.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। रेलू कट्टा की नई एपिसोड के साथ आपके सामने हाजिर हैं। कल का जो मैच कंक्लूड हुआ है, बल्कि वर्ल्ड कप भी कंक्लूड हुआ है इंग्लैंड और न्यूजीलैंड के दरमियान होने वाले मैच का। उसके बाद हम अपनी लेटेस्ट एपिसोड में आज डिस्कस करेंगे ना सिर्फ वर्ल्ड कप को बल्कि उस स्पेसिफिकली उस मैच को। तो आज हमारे साथ हमारी गेस्ट मौजूद हैं, तस्नीम समर खान साहिबा, जो एट समर येल से ट्विटर पे ट्वीट करती हैं। और तस्नीम खुद विकेट कीपर हैं यूके में एक क्रिकेट क्लब की तरफ से, जिसकी तरफ से बेन फोक्स भी क्रिकेटर, इंग्लैंड इंग्लिश क्रिकेटर विकेट कीपर रहे हैं। और उसके अलावा सोशल मीडिया पे तस्नीम समर खान की काफ़ी प्रेजेंस है। अपने क्रिकेट व्यूज़ प्रेजेंट करती हैं बड़े अच्छे तरीके से, और उनका एनालिसिस काफ़ी अच्छा होता है, काफ़ी इंजॉय करते हैं। तो जो लोग उनको फॉलो नहीं करते हैं, वो उनको एट समर जेल पे फॉलो करें। तो तस्नीम खुद भी ब्लॉग लिखती हैं। उनके काफ़ी ब्लॉग्स मैंने पढ़े हैं। उनकी वेबसाइट है girlswithcricketballs.wordpress.com। उसके अलावा वेरियस पॉडकास्ट्स और ब्लॉग्स ये लिखती और करती रहती हैं। तो यहाँ पे मैं तस्नीम को वेलकम कहूँगा। वेलकम तस्नीम।
Thank you for having me.
यू वेलकम। सो तो मैं सबसे पहले पूछूंगा कि कल का मैच आपने किस तरह देखा और कहाँ पे देखा?
कल मैं खेल रही थी अपने क्लब के साथ, तो काफी सुबह सुबह हम खेल रहे थे इसलिए ताकि ज्यादा मैच मिस ना हो। तो बिल्कुल मैच के बाद there were so many people at my club. एक काफी छोटी सी जगह है और शायद 200 लोग थे वहाँ, सारे देख रहे थे फर्स्ट 11 सेकंड 11 थर्ड्स बच्चे, द सीनियर टीम और फिर वुमेन्स टीम as well after we finished our own match. तो माहौल तो बहुत जबरदस्त था. It's been a very long time since I've seen that kind of cricket atmosphere in England. आप लोगों को तो भी पता होगा कि जैसे पाकिस्तान, इंडिया, सब कॉन्टिनेंट जनरली में होता है क्रिकेट के साथ, जहाँ सारे लोग शामिल होते हैं और वो हर किसी का फेवरेट स्पोर्ट होता है. इंग्लैंड में उतना ज़्यादा नहीं रहा. अब फुटबॉल यहाँ का मेन स्पोर्ट है, रग्बी भी थोड़ी बहुत हो गई है, विंबलडन भी हो रहा था, लेकिन क्रिकेट के साथ काफ़ी चेंज आया है आई थिंक इन द लास्ट मे बी 10, 15, 20 years. तो ये शायद 2005 एशेस के बाद मैंने ऐसा एटमोसफियर देखा है इंग्लैंड में. तो सारे देख रहे थे. वी हैड मे बी 5 screens showing the match in the pavilion और बहुत अच्छा एटमोसफियर था वैसे.
सही। यही बात पे थोड़ी सी और बात मैं बढ़ाना चाहूँगा कि इंग्लैंड में आप क्या समझती हैं कि स्काई क्रिकेट ने जो एक फीस, एक पेमेंट पे क्रिकेट देखने पे जो यू हैव टू बाय अ सब्सक्रिप्शन टू वॉच क्रिकेट, तो
जी,
उसकी वजह से क्या इंटरेस्ट जो है वो डाउनवर्ड चला गया?
दो तीन बातें हैं. एक तो ये स्काई क्रिकेट वाली बात है, और सिर्फ स्काई क्रिकेट नहीं है, और भी सब्सक्रिप्शन बेस्ड चैनल्स हैं. एक स्काई पे सारा कुछ होता भी नहीं है. पूरा वर्ल्ड कप स्काई पे ही हुआ था. आई थिंक इट्स अराउंड £30 महीने के लिए. तो ऑब्वियसली ये वर्ल्ड कप ही 2 महीने का, 6 हफ्ते थे, सो इट्स अ 2 month सब्सक्रिप्शन. तो बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए £60 फॉर स्पोर्ट्स इज टू मच मनी. लेकिन जो बाकी सीरीज भी होती हैं, some of them will be on Sky Cricket, some of them will be on BT Sport. I think Virgin is another TV subscription channel that has its own system. तो एक तो ये वजह है कि majority लोगों के लिए ये कुछ ज़्यादा ही है पैसे, और वो आपके mixed sports भी नहीं होते, एक ही channel है सिर्फ क्रिकेट के लिए. एक और मसला है स्काई क्रिकेट के साथ कि वो क्रिकेट कम दिखाते हैं, और लाइक पुराने मैचेस, हाइलाइट्स, वीडियोस, मास्टर क्लासेस, इंटरव्यूज, ऐसी चीजें ज्यादा दिखाते हैं. तो अक्सर ये भी होता है कि हमारे पास हमारे घर में स्काई क्रिकेट है और लाइव क्रिकेट हो रहा है, जैसे फर्ज करें काउंटी क्रिकेट, और काउंटी क्रिकेट उस चैनल पे नहीं होता. तो आप पैसे भी दे रहे हैं और आपको क्रिकेट भी लाइक देखने के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी नहीं मिलते। तो एक तो ये बहुत बड़ा मसला है। दूसरा मसला इंग्लैंड में ये है कि जो हमारी क्लास बाउंड्रीज और क्लास डिविजन्स हैं वो क्रिकेट के अंदर काफी इंट्रेंच्ड हैं। तो आज तक क्रिकेट समझा जाता है कि क्रिकेट अमीर लोगों का स्पोर्ट है। जो लोग शायद प्राइवेट स्कूल्स में पढ़े हैं, या अगर प्राइवेट स्कूल्स नहीं तो ग्रामर स्कूल्स, वहाँ उनके पास एक्सेस होता है। इसके अलावा क्रिकेट itself is a very expensive sport to play. आप लोगों को भी अंदाजा है कि जब आप किट खरीदते हैं बच्चों के लिए तो वो कितना महंगा होता है, आपको इतनी सारी चीजें चाहिए होती हैं, and it really adds up. तो एक तो उसका इक्विपमेंट महंगा होता है, फिर उसकी जो मेंबरशिप्स और ट्रेनिंग और कोर्सेज और ये चीजें होती हैं वो भी महंगी होती हैं। तो फॉर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पीपल इन द कंट्री, क्योंकि हम भी, आई मीन इंग्लैंड इज अ फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कंट्री, लेकिन यहाँ भी काफी गुर्बत है। वैसे गुर्बत नहीं जैसे शायद हम सब कॉन्टिनेंट में होती है, लेकिन कंपैरेटिवली गुर्बत है। लोग इन चीजों पे अब पैसे नहीं लगाते। उन लोगों के लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो गया, दे लिव मंथ टू मंथ पे चेक्स, और अपनी उनकी फोकस होती है कि उनकी घर का खर्चा और ये चीजें हों, जैसे हर जगह होती है। तो क्रिकेट हमारे मुल्क में ये बात भी है कि हम टेक बॉल या स्ट्रीट क्रिकेट नहीं खेलते ज्यादा। तो ये काफी चीजें ऐड अप हो के इसका मतलब है कि हमारी जो ऑडियंस है क्रिकेट के एंगेजमेंट के लिए वो काफी कम हो गया है एज कम्पेयर टू मे बी 20 years ago। जब मैं छोटी थी, व्हेन आई वाज ग्रोइंग अप इन इंग्लैंड, we're talking 15 साल पहले, 20 साल पहले, उस वक्त फ्री टू एयर टेलीविजन पे होता था क्रिकेट। तो आप चैनल 4 पे देखते थे, ऐसे चैनल्स पे देखते थे जहाँ सारे लोग देख सकते हैं, यू डोंट नीड अ स्पेशल सब्सक्रिप्शन। और फिर भी जब मूव हुआ था स्काई क्रिकेट और इन चीजों की तरफ, आपको फिर भी हाइलाइट्स पैकेजेस काफी अच्छे मिलते थे, 2 घंटों की हाइलाइट्स पैकेजेस, और या वो सुबह लगती थी स्कूल से पहले, या वो इमीडिएटली आफ्टर स्कूल 6 बजे लगती थी। तो इस दफा ये जो वर्ल्ड कप अभी हुआ है, आई थिंक जो चैनल 4 की हाइलाइट्स थी, आई थिंक दे वर ऑन एट मिडनाइट। जाहिर है आप लोगों को मिडनाइट के हाइलाइट्स के साथ एंगेज तो नहीं कर सकते, पर्टिकुलरली चिल्ड्रन। बच्चे तो उस वक्त सोए हुए होते हैं, और बड़ों के लिए भी अगर आप काम करते हैं, आप जो भी करते हैं, तो 12 बजे फॉर मोस्ट पीपल इज मच टू लेट अगर आपने सुबह उठना होता है। So I think it's a mixture of a lot of different things. So class and expense is probably the biggest reason. Because इसका मतलब है कि grassroots cricket भी थोड़ा बहुत खत्म हो रहा है। और लोगों के लिए बहुत ही मुश्किल हो गया एंगेज करने के लिए। मैं खुद भी अपना एक्सपीरियंस बता सकती हूँ कि ज़ाहिर है जब मैं बच्ची थी तो मेरे माँ बाप ये चीज़ें करते थे, और आपको तो नहीं पता होता कि इन चीज़ों की कॉस्ट्स कितनी होती हैं, और आपके पेरेंट्स कैसे उनको मिटिगेट करते हैं, या उसके लिए काम करते हैं, या आपके लिए कितना कुछ करते हैं। फिर जब मैं बड़ी हुई थी, when I started earning, and I joined my first cricket club where I was paying for everything myself, तो मैं honestly शॉक थी और हैरान थी कि मेंबरशिप की फीस, फिर इंश्योरेंस की फीस, फिर मुझे उस वक्त एक पूरा नया किट बैग चाहिए था क्योंकि आई हैड outgrown everything. I think I probably spent at least £1,000 that year, just on like my kit, my expenses, traveling to matches, all of this stuff added together. And I was just it was my first job after being a student, so obviously £1,000, you're living in London, paying London rent, तो वो तो काफी सारे पैसे होते हैं। तो it really is a sport that उसमें इतने सारे barriers हैं, whether it's television or the equipment, that it means that it's not possible for everybody to engage with it. Most people will just choose to eat better food with those £1,000, या शायद थोड़े से बेहतर कपड़े खरीदें उन पैसों के साथ। जो लोग थोड़े बहुत, या आई मीन आप कह सकते हैं कि कुछ लोग क्रिकेट के फैनेटिक्स होते हैं, वो बात भी दुरुस्त है, लेकिन दूसरी बात है कि some of us have just grown up with it, तो हमारे लिए इतनी नॉर्मल चीज है, it's such a big involvement in our life that we would carve out a section of our income for it. So unless you're already very dedicated or you have enough disposable income, लोगों के लिए क्रिकेट के साथ engage करना बहुत ही मुश्किल हो गया है।
सही।
We have started discussing social issues already. I think that is not bad at all. And
actually we
yeah,
really enjoy talking about the social issues on this podcast. तो आपने जो बोला कि जो क्रिकेट है यूके में वो खेलना वाकई उसको समझा जाता है कि वो पोस्टमैन जो है उनकी गेम है। और पाकिस्तान में जैसे आपने बोला कि पाकिस्तान में टेप बॉल, टेनिस बॉल, क्रिकेट खेली जाती है, जो कि इजी टू अफोर्ड है इवन फॉर यानी लोअर इनकम पीपल।
बिल्कुल
तो यूके में इस तरह नहीं है, तो उस वजह से आपको पूरा, जिस तरीके से आपने बताया कि सारी किट आपको खरीदना पड़ती है हर इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर को, तो वो हर किसी के लिए पॉसिबल नहीं। अच्छा, मैं यहाँ पे अमीन को, आई विल ट्राई टू ब्रिंग इन अमीन who will be talking to us from Pakistan. Amin?
Yeah, thank you, Waqas bhai. Hey, Tasneem.
hi
Okay, I got a couple of follow-up questions from what you have been saying, or have been talking about, especially for promotion of cricket in Britain. इधर नॉर्वे में ना हम लोग एक क्लब में खेलते थे, तो being a part of that club, I was a part of the administration of that club.
great
तो हमारी नज़र से काफ़ी ज़्यादा ये आईसीसी के जो बजटिंग होती है या उनके जो स्लोगन्स वगैरह होते हैं, फॉर अ ईयर दे यूजुअली हैव अ मोटो, हैव अ थीम फॉर एवरी ईयर. नाउ दिस ईयर वी वांट टू promote cricket in school children, for example. This year we want to make it, accessible to women and ladies and so forth. So they usually have these themes for every budget which they propose. दो बातें मैंने आपसे पूछनी थी. नंबर एक तो ये कि अब आईसीसी की जो मनी का पॉकेट है, the big three, England, Australia and India, they get quite a bit of share from the finances which ICC raises in its own events. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि अब ECB के पास थोड़े से पैसे ज़्यादा होते हैं comparatively, which they can invest back in the country. तो वो कितना ज़्यादा ट्रिकल डाउन हो रहा है या कितना ज़्यादा ट्रिकल डाउन होगा कि जो स्कूल कॉलेजेस के अंदर जो बच्चों को अट्रैक्ट करना है क्रिकेट की तरफ, उसमें वो इन्वेस्टमेंट किस हद तक कर रहे हैं और उसका कोई पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट आपको नज़र आ रहा है या नहीं. दिस इज़ वन. टू, ये जो फाइनल था कल का, इसके बारे में काफ़ी शोर हो रहा था कि इसको वो फ्री टू द एयर उसके ऊपर टीवी के ऊपर दिखा रहे हैं, ताकि जो मैसेज विच दे हैव लॉस्ट आफ्टर दैट स्काई क्रिकेट थिंग केम अप आफ्टर 2005 एशेज सीरीज, वो लोग दोबारा क्रिकेट के साथ कनेक्ट हो सकें. I don't know whether it's going to be a one-off thing, because just this is the final which they are showing on the free to the air TV, but they won't show anything else. For example, Ashes series आ रही है अभी एक महीने के अंदर, are they going to air that as well on free to the air TV? We don't know. तो ये वन ऑफ इवेंट का कितना कोई इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है?
Okay, good questions. I'm going to answer the second one first and then the first one, because I think they lead on to each other. They're connected things. I am worried that it's going to be a one-off. And the reason that I'm worried that it's going to be a one-off is कि पहले ये discussion हुई थी कि should we have it on free to air. They didn't. What they decided is that if England reaches the final, then we'll have it on free to air. I have my own thoughts about how likely it was that England was going to reach the final. मैं शुरू दिन से कह रही हूँ कि England जरूर final में होगा. So there's a lot
आप ये नहीं कह रही कि इंग्लैंड जीतेगा?
मैं शुरू से कह रही हूँ, and there's a lot of reasons for that. One of the main reasons is they have been consistently playing excellent cricket for the last 4 years. They're playing a very brave format, a very brave type of cricket. The way that they've invested in the limited overs side is really good. And then the final and the biggest reason connects to the ICC that you talked about. You mentioned the big three. This format, the 10-team round robin World Cup, lends itself to teams that are capable of playing very consistently. Pakistan क्यों नहीं consistently खेल सकता, या जो smaller nations हैं वो क्यों नहीं consistently खेल सकते, उनको उतने matches नहीं मिलते जितने big three को मिलते हैं. Big three have massive resources, like you mentioned, huge amounts of funding, and are lucky enough to get to play a very, very great amount of cricket in every country that they want to. Right? So these are aspects that many of our countries don't have. It just means that you grow to be consistent. You are more aware of wickets, all the pitches all over the world, and you get experience of playing against lots of different players. Virat Kohli was not particularly successful this World Cup. Well, probably because the whole world's played against him. The whole world knows exactly how dangerous he is. Everybody gets to study and work out what his weaknesses are and therefore target them. It doesn't make him any less of a player than he was before this World Cup. It's probably a part of everybody's game plan, right? So there's a lot of reasons that I thought England were going to at least go to the final, if not win the World Cup. I think that means that when you have a home World Cup, you should be thinking about free to air anyway. Even if that will give you short-term financial losses, you're thinking about a longer-term investment. You're thinking about the future of the game within your country. Even when I was attending a lot of matches, a great amount of people were visitors for international visitors from whatever country they came from. There's nothing wrong with that. That's all fantastic. It's just it would be nice to see English people as engaged with the sport as Australian audiences are, as Indian audiences are, as Pakistanis are, as Kiwis are, as people from everywhere are. So it's just a sad thing to see for cricket in your own country, right? So going back to the question of whether I think that this one-off is going to be big, um, it's a mixed bag. I was getting text messages from friends who never watch the cricket, friends who know that I work in the sport, that it's something that I do with all of my time and still have not managed to get into it, simply because they don't have Sky Cricket. They don't buy Hotstar subscriptions for random match series that I watch, or like Cricket Ireland streaming packages that I buy, or whatever it is that I do with my time. So I was getting text messages from these people saying, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is one of the best games I've ever seen. I had no idea कि cricket ऐसे भी हो सकता है, कि इतना exciting होता है." Obviously, cricket has moved on from Ian Botham's generation as a sport. In terms of athleticism, in terms of excitement, lots of things have changed. But because it's still associated with posh people, with a certain traditionalism, people see a certain image in their head that simply is not the sport anymore, and they think of it as automatically boring without ever having really engaged with it. That's all changed. I had friends texting me about it, getting really excited. You know what I think? I think that had the entire tournament been on free-to-air television, they would have been watching Bangladesh, Australia, which was also a great match. It was really interesting. They would have watched Pakistan, England, which was a phenomenal game. They would have watched, that we actually had a lot of decent games this World Cup. When you look back, it's probably more than anybody thought were going to happen. We thought that there were going to be a lot of dead rubbers. And that's just not the case. Probably a big thank you needs to go out to Sri Lanka for that. But it was a good tournament, and I think that people would have enjoyed it, and they would have seen cricket in a whole new light. And I think that if those same people that think that Ian Botham brand of cricket is boring and dull and for our granddads to be watching, if they saw Sheldon Cottrell's catch, or Ben Stokes' catch, or Trent Bolt's catch, or Jimmy Neesham's insane catch a few days ago against India, any of those things, they would have been hooked. They would have been like dipping in and out of this tournament the entire time, and they would have been very, very, very pumped for the final. Sadly, that's not what we got. We got a one-off, one day that England just so happened to win. It was a game of fine margins. It was an excellent game, but it could have very easily gone the other way. The fact that England won it is very good for cricket domestically, because it gives us the best opportunity out of the meager coverage that the cricket was given this time round. If New Zealand won it, I don't know if we'd be having this conversation about, are they going to take this to the next step? We probably wouldn't, because people wouldn't be as hyped or pumped as they were after the 2005 Ashes, which really were the last great cricketing moment in this nation's collective consciousness, ignoring those of us who watch cricket all the time and therefore can name you at least 10 moments from the last year which they thought were insane. As a collective, 2005 is the last time we have to look back to, and that was almost 15 years ago. So I think that we...
Sorry to interrupt,
please.
Tasneem. I see that you like talking, but I was just going to ask, how is the hype right now? One day.
Oh, it's amazing. It's insane. I went to work today, and normally people who talk to me and they're like, "Oh God, is she talking about stupid cricket again?" They came up to me to talk to me about the cricket, which is amazing. The hype's great. It's on the front page of all the papers. It's all over the TV. It's inevitable. Your country wins at anything, and the hype goes through the roof. Suddenly people care about that sport. I just hope that we're able to take this engagement to the next level. And I think Amin's point was really good. That involves covering the Ashes, and not just 30 minutes highlights package every day at midnight. That means actually covering the Ashes, which financially means a small loss, but it means that you get a whole generation into the sport. I'm also involved in my club, And I've moved clubs recently from a club that had a very integrated women's setup to a club that has a developmental women's setup. And I've been one of these people trying to push for this women's setup. And the area that I'm in, girls play hockey, they play netball, they play tennis, they even play golf, but we don't play cricket. I don't know why. And I'm trying to make a difference here, but it has been very, very, very hard to get girls involved. I've got like a nice little core group and they're hooked. They love it. But trying to expand that is very difficult. And what that involves is when I was growing up, getting to see people like Shoaib Akhtar on TV every single day, or others, or Nasser Hussain on TV every single day, that was the difference. If you have heroes or if you have people where you can see yourself doing something or being inspired by them, that makes a whole difference. People know who Freddie Flintoff is. Well, I really, really, really hope that they're now going to know who Joss Butler is. But it involves
Freddie Flintoff, the boxer?
No, Andrew Flintoff, Freddie Flintoff, the cricketer. So from
he
Ash's
boxed
hero.
a little as well.
Towards the end of his career, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it can't just be a one-off, and the real issue is, what do they do with this great jumping off point that they've been given?
Yeah. I don't know if you have been following Pakistani media, but
Always.
you would have known that Shoaib Akhtar is on TV every day these
Yeah.
days. So
Yeah.
not in a good way, but
So what do you call him then?
With his bowling.
Summer, what do you call him?
What do I call Shoaib Akhtar?
Yeah, have you been listening to him and what he has been saying and all those?
You know what? I think post playing career, it's usually best to ignore a lot of players. पाकिस्तान का सबसे बड़ा मसला ये है कि लोग स्पोर्ट के बारे में नहीं सोचते, वो अपने बारे में सोचते हैं, वो अपने biases के बारे में सोचते हैं, whether they're political, whether it's nepotism, जो भी होता है. It's a very, very, very rare player that I've ever listened to post career in Pakistan and thought, ये बंदा सही बंदा है, इसको पता है कि क्रिकेट के साथ क्या होना चाहिए पाकिस्तान में. And it's a damn shame, to be honest. But it's just the way that it is. So I think.
You mean Misbah?
Oh, Misbah's the exception, but Misbah is always the exception.
No, I think more people should
Misbah
listen to your advice in this regard.
Yeah, I think Misbah and maybe Azhar Ali now.
Yeah,
are doing a better analysis.
I don't want to say he's in his post-career stage just yet for Azhar Ali, because I think it's a shame, and I think he has a lot of time. But since you brought up Pakistani cricket and the politicization of Pakistani cricket, I think it's a shame that we let go of him when he did. When he retired, which I do not believe was a wholly self-made decision. I think he was probably told that you're no longer in our plans. Generally, players retire for that very reason, especially at young age. He's only 33. That's absolutely nothing these days. Tim Murtaugh, the Irish bowler, is 38 in about a week. And he is taking crazy wickets everywhere. I've watched that man, and it's like nothing has changed from 15 years ago. Ryan Tenduscott just turned 39 years old. These are two men that are still at the peak of their careers. So 33 is absolutely nothing. But when I saw that he'd made his retirement, and then when I saw Somerset picked him up for a season, I thought to myself, well, it's Somerset's year, and that's what's happened. They won the one-day cup, and right now they're sitting right at the top of the 4-day county championship table. And Azhar Ali has been a big force in that, and a lot of the players have said, the younger guys like Dom Bess, that he is not just an amazing batsman, which we know he is, and obviously he's taken fifers in the one-day cup as a bowler as well. So he's not just an amazing player, but he is a massive force in the dressing room who gives a lot of time and energy to younger players. I think that these are the guys we should be keeping around for as long as possible, encouraging. This is why Trescothick, has played for as long as he has. It's because they give you more than just what they give you on field. So I hope this will not be the end of Azhar Ali's playing career. But if it is, then yes, I definitely agree that he is a lot more promising as an analyst and as somebody who can stay involved with the game than some other people.
Yeah.
I don't think that it is the end of his playing career, because he's an integral part of Pakistan Test team.
Yes.
He plays all the tests for Pakistan, and Yeah, I think he will go on to play for 3-4 years more. He has just taken a
But we
beating
need
from this Bayern Munich.
we need someone to replace Ramiz Raja soon.
Oh yes, that is absolutely.
I am willing to jump into that role. Don't worry about it. I have better hair than me, so I
okay.
could make that happen.
Can you arrange for his kidnap or something, because he won't go otherwise.
He's getting younger by the day.
He's trying to be younger. Anyway, guys, I will have to bring it back to the World Cup final match.
Yes.
So, as an England cricket fan, I can see that you are buzzing already about yesterday's game. So, I will ask you, जब कल टॉस हुआ और न्यूजीलैंड ने पहले बैटिंग का फैसला किया, तो उस टाइम पे आपका क्या ख्याल था कि क्या ये एक अच्छा फैसला है, या they will have to pay for it, considering के पिच के ऊपर थोड़ा बहुत ग्रास भी था, तो
Lords काफी मुश्किल है. मुश्किल in the sense के it's relatively fair, but it's much more low scoring than a vast majority of the grounds in England are. There's also that fantastic slope running from the nursery end to the pavilion end, which if you know how to bowl on, you're very dangerous. If you don't, then batsmen get to take advantage of that. England has a terrible record at Lords. You guys must remember the Pakistan Test match about 2 summers ago. I mean, I really knew it was going to go that way because Pakistan had good bowlers and England has a bad record at Lords. I think it's a very, very, very difficult toss to determine because there are pitches in England, and Lords is one of them, that there's a little bit of grass on. They look a little bit green, but they won't go crazy. They won't be so good for the bowlers that you'll see 90 all out or anything like that. They're a little bit deceptive. I think Subha jo Mausam bhi tha kal, that was also a little bit deceptive. There was a little bit of cloud coverage, but it's actually nothing that's going to cause ridiculous swing. I think probably the cloud coverage mixed with the humidity was the thing that would have worked, but that humidity didn't kick in until a little bit later. It was probably a good 1 p.m. Before it got warm and humid. So I think that was both decisions would have been fair. I would have picked a bowl first. I think if England had won the toss, they probably would have also picked to bowl. I don't think it was a mistake from Kane's part. The reason being is that their batting is their absolute weakness. They have, if you take Kane Williamson out of that team for a moment, they would have been scoring 100 all out. They were absolutely atrocious with the bat throughout the tournament. Their openers never managed to come off, and apart from Latham had a really bad tournament, they struggled with even picking who their opener was, like, you know, switching between Colin and then Nichols, and it was a very difficult tournament for them batting wise. I think it was probably a huge surprise to their setup and most people in the world that Guptill had such a bad tournament. He's a fantastic, absolute class batsman. So I think the reason that Kane would have done that is to see what their bowlers needed to do to mitigate for their weakness. If they're only capable of putting up, I don't know, let's say 220, then their bowlers know exactly what job they have to do. So he, I think, probably did that to go with their strength. England would have done it to go with their weakness and allow their batsmen, who are their strength, to be able to push them over the line. And I think it's a fair decision from both parties. I would have picked to bowl simply because it is Lords. The bowlers will tell you what they're capable of doing, and then you move around that. So I don't think that it's the easiest toss to win or lose or to make a decision on either way, but I think both teams would have gone with their strength rather than anything else.
Okay, so when New Zealand started batting, I don't think they were troubled that much by their fast bowlers initially. और फिर उसके बाद जब गप्टिल की विकेट गिरी है तो फिर उसके बाद
the humidity kicked in. I'm telling you, it's the conditions. They're, you know, it's deceptive conditions. A lot of us think that overcast and cloudy means that the ball swings, but it's the way that interacts with other things. It was a difficult, like, I think the bowling was good for the first 10 overs, but it wasn't anything as difficult as facing Trent Bolt and Matt Henry for the first 10, was it?
Yep. That
They
was my
bowled
point.
brilliantly. That's exactly I was going to bring into this discussion here. In the second inning, when they started bowling, they were amazing. Even
They were.
though, 4 hours later, and it was just luck that was saving Roy and Bairstow there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you think that the way the ball was getting stuck in the pitch, which I thought it was it due to the humidity that brought this sticky nature of the pitch out?
I think it's probably humidity mixed with overcast conditions and also Wokes. And Wokes is a absolutely fantastic opening bowler. Archer is going to be great. And it feels like what I'm about to say feels like an unfair sentence considering that he's had an insane World Cup. He's been phenomenal. And then obviously the super over from yesterday as well. But Archer is a little bit green and inexperienced. He absolutely rose to all of that and did shockingly amazingly despite that inexperience, but I think it took him a little bit of time to get going and to find what he wanted to be doing with the pitch. I think it was a mixture of things. I think that it probably doesn't help either Guptill or Nichols. Obviously, Nichols had a decent go with the bat yesterday. It was definitely his best score of the tournament, but it probably doesn't help that they've had such an atrocious tournament as openers for New Zealand. It gets in your head, and it's something that's very difficult to walk away from. Even if you are as world class as Martin Guptill is, it's going to be sticking in your head that not just these guys when I've played them before, but every single bowler this tournament has had my number. It's only a matter of time. So I think he worked very hard for those 30 minutes. When he got out, then it did change the face of the game. If the two openers had been able to go a little bit further, then the way that the Kiwi bowlers bowled a little bit later, it would have been probably a very different game that we watched.
So, yes, Fahd.
Oh, wow. I just started thinking a bit philosophically. The way things went yesterday, it was, and the way England, they were surviving and they had luck on their side all the time. Coming from a culture which, which in a way believes in a lot of supernatural stuff, I thought there was something supernatural with England yesterday as well. I mean, look at the way the Kiwi bowlers they bowled when they were bowling to the English batsmen, and afterwards the series of incidents during that inning that happened. I thought there was something supernatural. They had some force with them yesterday that led them to where they are today.
So Porter asked Owen Morgan if he had the luck of the Irish with them. And Morgan replied, well, yes, and we also had Allah, and we also have like a very diverse team. I'm not super into the supernatural or luck or anything like that, but cricket is and always will be a game of very fine margins. Some of the most phenomenal games that we'll ever see hinge on these teeny tiny little moments. The way that I think of it, and I don't know if a lot of people will disagree with this, so feel free to. New Zealand had an incredibly lucky tournament. I don't think that they were one of the best one-day sides going in. I think that they were a very incomplete side. They don't even have a real spinner. Let's not be
that is
unfair.
true. That is true.
Let's not be unfair to Sodhi, but you know he's not on the class of Adil Rashid or many of the other spinners in any of the sides, to be honest. So they have a very incomplete team. Jimmy Neesham has not played cricket regularly for a very long time. Colin de Grandhomme, I think even Kiwis would agree, is the best of what we've got, rather than these are second 11 type of guys. They went with Munro, who's a T20 batsman. They plugged together a side despite having a lot of issues. And that's fine. That's great. They then went on to get a lot of pitches that really suited the fact that Trent Boult is one of the most dangerous bowlers in the right conditions in the world. So they had those matches early on in their competition, which meant that their on the trot losses and big losses to other teams were not so detrimental that they couldn't snake through. They snaked through on net run rate, and this is not taking anything away from the Black Caps. They're another phenomenal side. I just mean that tournaments like this, they hinge on moments. They hinge on little bits of luck. You need to have something. Either it's an energy and a self-belief that keeps you going and gets you through, which is, as we've seen again and again, what Australia tend to have. Excuse me, talking too much. Or it's a lot of luck, which, I mean, I think New Zealand had the entire tournament. They beat teams that were not better than them.
What I meant,
Pakistani, but Pakistan beat teams that were better than them on the day where it mattered. I'm not starting up that net run rate conversation, but it's just about luck. Some of it has to be. The luck just so happened to be with England yesterday. Felt good as an English person. Yeah.
None of us here is a believer in supernatural forces or anything like that. लेकिन जब आप कल जैसा मैच हुआ, जब आप उसे देखते हो, और मैं बैठा देख रहा था और मैं यही सोच रहा था कि I don't really believe in anything supernatural. लेकिन जब आप देखते हो कि एक के बाद दूसरा, दूसरे के बाद तीसरा, everything is going in England's favor, तो आप सोचना शुरू कर देते हो, यार वाकई कोई ऐसा है तो नहीं कि कोई बिगर फोर्स है दुनिया के अंदर जो सारा कुछ प्लान करती है और जो आज वाकई इंग्लैंड की साइड पे है. I mean, look at the whole game, and they were extremely lucky not to take anything away from that. And the point that you have made is very valid. कि इंग्लैंड की जो टीम है, ये भी एक चीज हो सकती है कि न्यूजीलैंड की टीम, बिल्कुल सही बात है कि उनके अंदर बहुत सारे लूप होल्स और बहुत सारी चीजें जो थी, they were not the best कीवी साइड, आप ये नहीं कह सकते, और they were not the best side in the tournament either. Well, England were right up there along with India, of course, the two best sides of this tournament. लेकिन
and the two most consistent sides in what the last 4 or 5 years anyway, so
exactly. लेकिन वही बात के कल जो गेम हुई उसके अंदर ये था कि इंग्लैंड मतलब न्यूजीलैंड they were covering up all the time, और उसमें भी इंग्लैंड जब टॉप पे आया और जिस तरह से वो आए, तो वो थोड़ा सा मैं इस चीज के बारे में सोचना शुरू हो गया कि ये हो क्या रहा है कि everything is going against न्यूजीलैंड
बेचारे.
और ये उनका हो सकता है ना, ये भी एक वजह हो सकती है ना कि इंग्लैंड सिंस दे आर सो गुड और दे रियली डिजर्व इट, nothing to take away from them, कि वो डिजर्व करते हैं, तो फिर भी कुछ ऐसा है कि नेचर ने डिसाइड किया कि they are the ones who are deserving actually.
Sometimes it's a manifestation of energy, and I think you can interpret that in the same way that you guys have been talking about, like luck or supernatural or whatever. Like, and I think when you have that self-belief, things do sometimes just go your way. It's been a very, very long build of self-belief and good energy and doubling down on the type of cricket that we've been playing for the last 4 years. A lot of people haven't liked it in England. I mean, it's not been traditional enough for the general cricketing culture of England. It has been far too aggressive and very different from anything that we've ever seen in this country before. And even ex-players, like we were talking about with Pakistan, ex-players haven't liked that, and they've been incredibly critical of this side. So I think when you believe in what you're doing enough, sometimes it works out that way. And I think it's been a great advert for the game. That final was just the most interesting a final could possibly be to get new people into the sport. People like us, we'll still be here, even if it was a very dull, boring, one-sided match. We'll still be here for the next World Cup. I think it's great to get other people in.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, guys, I've tried to bring it back to the World Cup final match, but it seems we will be freewheeling. But it's
you
good.
people started freewheeling at the start, start discussing the social issues and all that. So then it has been like that. Yes.
So I will try to chip in as well. जैसे आप तस्नीम बोल रही थी कि क्रिकेट इज अ गेम ऑफ फाइन मार्जिन्स, तो मेरा भी यही ख्याल है कि बेशक हम बिलीव कर रहे हों या ना कर रहे हों, लेकिन probably it matters much more कि players क्या believe कर रहे हैं. तो if maybe Adil Rashid believes कि Allah is on his side and it gives him some extra energy or motivation or an extra kick, तो maybe that matters much more.
Yes.
तो maybe जो extra margin की बात है, fine margins की बात है, तो वहाँ पे शायद आदिल रशीद might be excelling.
अच्छा समर, हमें एक बात बताओ यार, ये जो मतलब यू कमिंग फ्रॉम साउथ एशियन बैकग्राउंड एंड ऑल दैट, तो हम लोग इससे पहले भी डिस्कस कर रहे थे, नो दैट वी हैव बीन डिस्कसिंग ऑल द सोशल थिंग्स एंड एवरीथिंग लाइक दैट, तो मतलब किस कदर है इंग्लैंड के अंदर कि आप लोगों के लिए आगे जाने का रूम है. वी हैव सीन ऑफ कोर्स पीपल कमिंग फ्रॉम साउथ एशियन बैकग्राउंड एंड प्लेइंग फॉर इंग्लैंड बिफोर एज वेल. राइट नाउ देयर आर टू पीपल हु आर प्लेइंग इन द नेशनल टीम एज वेल. But then when we start talking about this topic, then there is always a discussion about discrimination, systematic discrimination, and so England के अंदर आपकी opinion में, and then of course you being a girl, और उसमें थोड़ा सा और, even though all of us here we don't make a difference between a man and a woman or anything like that, but the reality of the day is that you people, the girls, they are in a way disadvantaged generally in the society, in the world, and in every society. So पहले तो ये बताओ कि एशियन कम्युनिटी का वहाँ पे आप लोग जैसे हो, साउथ एशियन कम्युनिटी, तो इन लोगों के लिए क्या इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज कैसे हैं, और दूसरी बात फिर लड़कियों वाली हमें बताओ कि लड़कियां जैसे तुम हो तो of course I see the energy, all of us we see the energy in you. I have been trying to interrupt you, but you are so dedicated and passionate about your game that you just want to speak and want to talk and want to discuss, and not that we don't mind it at all. We love talking cricket and we love talking to people who know cricket. So ये दो चीजें हमें बताओ पहले इसके बारे में कि कैसा है वहाँ पे सीन.
So first of all, like you said a couple of times, you called me an England supporter. ये शायद पिछले 4-5 सालों की बात है. Before that, I was only a Pakistan supporter. I was never an England supporter until relatively recently. उसकी 2-3 वजूहात हैं. The reason being that the discrimination that you're asking about was, it felt very much more real. Very much, there was a lot of discrimination and it was very intense. People have been testing which England or Team Pakistan, and the same applies to Indians, Bangladeshis, everybody else, other immigrant backgrounds, since as long as I can remember. With the changes that have happened in the England side, but more important than the England side, domestic cricket in England, that has all changed maybe in the last 5 years or so. There has been a palpable difference in this new ECB regime than there was when I was growing up. That comment that we talked about that Owen Morgan made when he said कि Allah भी हमारे साथ था, you would never, ever, ever have dreamed of a comment like that coming out of an England camp 10 years ago. और मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि वो लोग बहुत racist थे, बहुत बुरे थे, whatever. It's just that our culture as a country has changed and moved on. There is a lot more togetherness, and I think it allows for a lot of people to be capable of feeling a part of the cricketing country, of the cricketing environment and setup that exists in this country now. A lot of that work has been done by county cricket and domestic cricket. You talked about these guys not being the first British Pakistanis or British Asians to play cricket for England, and absolutely. If you guys remember when Ravi Bopara was playing, he was dropped after a couple of bad performances. He was dropped incredibly early. Still to this day maintain it's because of maybe unconscious or subconscious discrimination, but discrimination, racial biases that existed. Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid have both had very bad times in international cricket. Moeen has been ineffective in different periods. Adil, when he started out, everybody thought he was a joke of a leg spinner, and today he is one of the most effective top wicket-taking bowlers of the last 4 or 5 years. He's taking Kohli's wicket with regularity, and if you can do that to someone who bats like Kohli, you can do that to the best of them. The England camp, led by Owen Morgan, which is a very important thing I feel to say, has persisted with them through those bad times, has believed in them. And I think little things like that wouldn't have happened 15 years ago. It is very, very, very different to growing up here when I was a kid. People automatically, if you turned up and you'd say, oh yeah, I'm supporting England, the first question would be, oh, but who do you support when they play against Pakistan? You know? And it's a completely unnecessary question. It's just because in the somewhere in people's minds is this issue of you as an outsider and that you will never actually truly be one of them. You'll always pick the other team. Um, Absolutely real talk. I wanted England to win the World Cup from day one. The day that Pakistan and England played, I wanted Pakistan to win. They were playing amazing, fun cricket. It was a phenomenal game. It was one of the best games of the tournament. And not a single person I know said, hang on a minute, you claim to be an England supporter every single day, and suddenly you're supporting Pakistan today, and what, you're going to switch back to England tomorrow? Nobody cared. Things have changed. I'm not saying it's gone. It's never going to be gone. It's a matter of working towards changing these attitudes and changing these behaviors. And I think that we are getting there. And domestic cricket has had a lot to do with it. But I think persisting with Adil and Muin has been, it's not something I would have seen 15 years ago. We would have dropped them in a heartbeat. We've got a young upcoming bowler that I don't like the phrases the next Jimmy Anderson, but this is what people are talking about him as. Saqib Mahmood. He is fast, moves the ball a lot, and incredibly promising. And he actually plays with Jimmy Anderson, so it's probably a good person to be learning from. And I think that we're moving past these ideas. We've gotten to an England that we know as being, or at least in the cricket world, of being multicultural, of being diverse, of gaining from all of its strengths. And I honestly do think that this is one of the reasons that this England side feels very different to any side that has come before it, looks very different, and plays very different. It's because it's really, really, really diverse. In terms of the question that you asked about being a woman and discrimination against women, do you mean working within the cricket world, or do you mean as a female cricketer?
Yeah, of course, a bit of both. लेकिन खास तौर पे क्रिकेट में ना, पहली बात तो ये कि हमारी जो कल्चरल ट्रेडिशन है साउथ एशिया की, उसमें लड़कियों को, हाँ, सबसे बड़ा मसला, गोरे तो बाद में आएंगे ना, तो पहले तो हमारे माँ बाप और भाई आएंगे सबसे पहले, तो वो एक जो बैरियर है। और उसके बाद ऑफ कोर्स देयर वुड बी एक्सेप्शन। पाकिस्तान, इंडिया बहुत बड़े मुल्क हैं और बहुत से लोग हैं, और वहाँ पे भी क्लास ऐसे ही है जैसे इंग्लैंड में है, और उसमें भी ऑफ कोर्स जो अपर क्लास है उसमें ये चीज नहीं है, दैट वी डू अंडरस्टैंड। बट सिंस यू आर वुमेन क्रिकेटर, और तुम लोगों ने और भी लड़कियों के साथ खेला होगा जो शायद प्रिविलेज बैकग्राउंड से नहीं है, लेकिन बहरहाल साउथ एशियन बैकग्राउंड से हैं, और जिस तरह से उन्होंने फाइट किया और अपने लिए रास्ता बनाया और अपने पीछे आने वालों के लिए रास्ता बनाया, उसकी स्टोरी में थोड़ा सुनना चाह रहा था कि वो, उसे तुम कैसे देखती हो?
तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, मैं खुद काफ़ी प्रिविलेज बैकग्राउंड से हूँ। मेरे माँ बाप काफ़ी एजुकेटेड हैं, और माय ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स वर एजुकेटेड एज वेल। तो वो जनरेशनल बात होती है। एक जनरेशन में शायद ये चीज़ें चेंज नहीं हो सकती, लेकिन जब आप 3, 4, 5 जनरेशन से आप एजुकेटेड, ब्रॉड माइंडेड लोग होते हैं तो थोड़ा सा फ़र्क होता है। लेकिन जो मेरी फर्स्ट कमेंट्री अपॉर्चुनिटी थी for official commentary was the Pakistan-Ireland test match. उसमें मैं official commentator थी। तो वहाँ रमीज भाई भी थे, Alan Wilkins भी थे, like there were a lot of respected commentators, let's call them, in that opportunity. My parents were ecstatic. There's no gender bias in my house. If anything, I'm the eldest child. I'm therefore the favorite. Blah blah blah. Right? लेकिन मेरे घर में ऐसा नहीं है। लेकिन जब मैंने अपने चचा को बताया था, तो मेरे चचा ने आगे से ये जवाब दिया था कि हाँ, आजकल इनको लड़कियां भी चाहिए होती हैं कैमरा के सामने खड़े होने के लिए। शायद उनको क्रिकेट के बारे में पता होता है, नहीं पता होता, whatever. Right? So this was a very backhanded comment, a very low-key comment to say that you don't know what you're talking about. You're there because you're a girl and people want girls on camera. And it's a comment that I don't get a whole lot of within my family, क्योंकि generally हम ऐसे लोग नहीं हैं। लेकिन कुछ लोगों के अंदर sexism की वजह से भी शायद नहीं होता, jealousy people don't like to see other people do well. Some people don't like to see other people getting opportunities. तो हर बंदा फर्क होता है जैसे आप खुद कह रहे थे और वो भी डाइवर्सिटी होती है हमारे एनवायरनमेंट्स में तो मेरे लिए पर्सनली अपनी फैमिली की तरफ से तो कुछ नहीं हुआ वो बहुत इंकरेजिंग होते हैं मैं अभी भी अपना लीगल करियर थोड़ा सा ऑन होल्ड कर आई एम अ लॉयर फुल टाइम तो उसको ऑन होल्ड कर रही हूँ और I'm trying to move full time into cricket and my parents are incredibly supportive of that you know even though we come from a very education based background and many other parents would wonder hang on why are you wasting you know hundreds of thousands of pounds of like further education for something that's a sport but no my parents aren't like that which is fantastic I think in a country like England the opportunities are only growing day by day however the amount of low-key sexism that I get on a day-to-day basis is insane. I just covered the Ireland Zimbabwe series Ireland में और मैं वहाँ पवेलियन में खड़ी हुई थी एक दिन बारिश हो रही थी and a group of guys came up to me and they do you guys know the term wag it means wife and girlfriend so basically they came up to me and they were like are you an Irish wag or are you a Zimbabwean wag and I was like excuse me और मैंने badge भी broadcasting badge पहना हुआ है ठीक है ना it's not rocket science or whatever तो ये लोग यकीन ही नहीं कर रहे थे कि मैं वहाँ काम कर रही हूँ the commentary that they're listening to is me I'm on the broadcasting team and they are stuck in this idea that I must be who else you know what other girl is at the cricket other than a wife and girlfriend so you still get this even in Ireland I remember I was doing promo for the commentary outside the cricket club and this guy said to me oh you're doing the commentary do you even know what Duckworth Lewis is so obviously I had the inclination to remind him that it's actually Duckworth Lewis Stern things have changed and that Duckworth Lewis Stern is completely irrelevant at a test match but so you still get these ideas and I think a big part of it is because there is a subset of male mentality that may recognize that women can make doctors, lawyers, teachers, nurses, whatever job profession happens in life, but it's very hard for them to let go of this idea in sport. They think of it as the last refuge for men. And usually it comes from your own insecurities rather anything else. You think that there might be something that you are better at than other people, but you're not. And that hurts some people. Most of us can just accept that, you know, it doesn't matter how much of an aggressive number 3 I am not as good as Jason Roy. I can accept that. But it's tough for everybody, no matter what profession it is. So you do get a lot of this still. But it is changing. It's changing slowly. It's changing because of the women who have come before you. It's changing because of the women who are doing it with you today. And it will keep changing, you know, and it's very dependent on what we teach our sons and our daughters as well. I don't think that the reason that I'm struggling to find more female participants at the club is because women don't play sports. I think it's just the type of sports that we tend to push women into instead. And I think it's because cricket has fallen out of the English public consciousness a little bit. So it's a big mix of things. Coming to the point of being a Pakistani woman or a South Asian woman or an ethnic minority woman, I think that makes things phenomenally harder. I think it makes things incredibly difficult because a lot of people have a lot to say about what you're doing, what you're wearing, how you're talking, everything. And a lot of that is the blocks that come with our culture. There are a great deal of excellent things about subcontinental culture. लेकिन कुछ मसले भी हैं, things that we need to make conscious decisions to change and move towards for a better world for all of us, whether it's men or women or whoever, right?
Yeah, that is
Okay.
Waqas
Tasneem,
is,
I have a question about England winning yesterday. So
Yes.
this team, which is constituted of all types of immigrants,
Yeah.
whether it be from Caribbean or Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali, or या फिर Irish captain हो उनका.
बिल्कुल. Yeah.
So will it go some way in reversing the damage that Brexit type mentality has done या ये isolated एक instance या इसका एक अपना ही मतलब लोग इसको इस तरह से ही देखेंगे कि बस क्रिकेट टीम है और इसका सोसाइटी के ऊपर कोई असर नहीं पड़ेगा.
पाकिस्तान टीम के बारे में हम कहते हैं ना कि हर किसी भी टीम के बारे में शायद कहा जा सकता है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान टीम जो है वो पाकिस्तान के जो सोशियो इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उनकी रिप्रेजेंटेशन है और सारी जो एक कॉन्शियसनेस है सारी नेशन का, उसको रिप्रेजेंट करती है, तो कुछ ऐसा शायद वकास भी.
So this is a phenomenally difficult question because it involves a lot of layers. I don't think it is possible to separate your sports or any aspect of life outside of the society in which we all live, right?
Exactly.
It has to represent something, and it has to represent some ideas. The attitudes of English cricket may not be representative of the entire country, but they are going to give you a little bit of a look in as to what is happening generally and what people think or feel. Instantly, the day after of this match, we have seen people try and hijack this win for political reasons. लोग करते हैं, लोग हमेशा करेंगे. They will use it to whatever advantage they can try and use it to. So कुछ लोगों ने फौरन कहा है कि हाँ इसमें तो यूरोप का कोई हाथ ही नहीं था, हमें यूरोप की जरूरत ही नहीं थी जीतने के लिए. That's silly because you're totally ignoring the fact that Owen Morgan is indeed he has an Irish parent, which is a part of Europe, and he has an English parent. It's also ignoring the fact that we have an entire setup that is not just about the players themselves, but everything else that happens, the administration, the coaches. It's something much bigger than just the guys on field as well. People are going to always try and politicize what's in front of you. Now, the other part of your question is about Brexit. I do not know, nor am I convinced, what extent of Brexit is pure racism and what extent of Brexit is because of politicization and lies that have been told to people. I think a lot more people voted for Brexit because of false economic ideas that they were told, rather than or misconstrued ideas about democracy rather than pure racism. I'm not saying that the racism isn't there. Of course it is. It's something that people face every single day. But I think that we will find that the people who voted for it out of racism are probably in the minority as compared to the people who voted for it out of misconstrued political ideologies. I don't think it's going to reverse anything. But the fact that the England cricket team and the ECB on a day-to-day basis, not just through this win, but before and we will continue to do so, celebrate the strength of our diversity, says something about the facets that we have within our society.
Yeah, but things like this, they do matter. Like you said, कि Owen Morgan ने जो कल था या आज कहा कि एक तो वही कि डाइवर्सिटी के बारे में, और फिर उसने कहा कि अल्लाह भी हमारे साथ था. This is something that he would not have said 10 years ago. So people who are listening to him, the younger ones, of course, they would in a way take that word as it is spoken, so to say.
Yeah.
And then वो इस चीज को realize करेंगे कि diversity जो है वो एक strength है, ना कि एक weakness है किसी भी nation के लिए. So in a way, of course, it would impact young minds. Of course, आप नाइजल फराज को तो नहीं बदल सकते, उस उम्र के लोगों के आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते उन लोगों का. उनके बस आपको इंतजार ही करना है, और कोई चांस नहीं है आपके पास.
I'll give you a little anecdote from when I was playing the other day. I was playing with a different team because they were short of a wicketkeeper batsman, and so I was with a new group of girls. There was a 16-year-old girl, and she was asking me if I knew another woman who plays in the area who has apparently won an award for her efforts in cricket. She named a girl with a Tamil name. And she said something about like, oh, she won this British Asian award, blah blah blah, and then she said something along the lines of do you know her? Now, if this question came 15 years ago, it would be because everybody thinks that all Asians know each other. That's not what happened. She thought because I work in cricket, I do commentary, I do media, that I might know her, and this girl is a local girl, that I might know her. The other girl that was there said, oh yeah, I think that girl is from India. And Jemima, the 16-year-old I'm talking about, was like, no, she's not, she's English. And it was an automatic thing for her to say. Now, of course, the girl who said, oh, she's from India, didn't mean she's not from here. We were talking about the origin of her name and how difficult it was to spell, to which I said, I think it's Tamil. And it's just, it was so automatic for Jemima to say, no, she's not, she's English. And then, you know, when Fenella explained it to her that, no, of course she's English. I mean, that name and the spelling of it, that's why Taz said it's Tamil. It must be South Asian. It must be blah, blah, blah. And Jemima then realized that we didn't mean it as an insult. We weren't trying to otherize this woman. We were just talking about the origin of her name, but it took her a minute because it's automatic. Because they sit there and they watch Jafra, they sit there and they watch Moeen, and these people are heroes. Or even in the county setup, you sit there and you watch these kids like Rishi Patel or you know, like Ravi Bapara, whomsoever. These are your regular everyday heroes. At Essex, we have a chant. You know how like the England supporters have that Joe Root chant? We have a chant. Oh, Ravi Bopara. That is what you hear at Essex cricket grounds on a day-to-day basis. You don't hear one about Alistair Cook, as great as he is. It's no slight on him. You don't hear one about Ryan Tendiscata of people who have played for the county for as long as Ravi has. You have one for Ravi Bopara because to Essex supporters, Ravi is an absolute hero. So the more integration that we have like this, the more Joffres we see, the more Moeens we see, whomsoever, wherever they're from, the more Owen Morgans we see, the more normalized it will become. And you will have 16-year-olds who are really confused by this idea that someone has called somebody else Tamil when they think that they're English. It's great. It's fantastic.
Okay.
I'll jump in. फिर एक सवाल मेरे पास भी है समर से पूछने के लिए। हम अभी बात कर रहे हैं एथनिसिटीज़ की और साउथ एशियन एथनिसिटी स्पेशली, और किस तरह इंग्लैंड में और स्पेशली क्रिकेटिंग सर्कल्स के अंदर उनको या पजीराई मिल रही है या किस तरह वो वहाँ पे अपना जो अपनी प्रेजेंस है उसको फील करवा रहे हैं। एक सवाल मेरे जहन में ये आ रहा था जब आप बात कर रही थी कि क्रिकेटिंग सर्कल्स में स्पेशली अब उनकी जो एक्सेप्टेंस है वो बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गई है और जो क्रिकेटिंग सेटअप है उसके अंदर उनको बहुत खुले तरीके से लिया जा रहा है, खुले दिल के साथ। क्या मुझे ऐसा नहीं है कि क्योंकि इंग्लिश जो बताते खुद जो रेशियल इंग्लिश है वो इतना ज़्यादा क्रिकेट की तरफ नहीं आ रहे, उन्होंने एक तरह से इसको आप कह लें कि एक तरह से उन्होंने इसको टैग दे दिया है कि जी ये साउथ एशियंस का स्पोर्ट है, लेट देम प्ले इट। तो इस वजह से वो जो खाली जो एक जगह रह गई है उसको पुर कर रहे हैं साउथ एशियंस टू अ सर्टेन एक्सटेंट।
हो सकता है, लेकिन अभी भी the reality is that
sorry just to finish the one last sentence क्योंकि I'm from East Africa. East Africa, South Africa, we have a very common cultural background. East Africa के अंदर Kenya, they made it to semi-finals in 2003. I'm from Tanzania. South Africa is also very close to us. वहाँ पे जो काले थे या जो colonial गोरे थे उन्होंने छोड़ दिया क्रिकेट, they only play rugby. क्रिकेट अब सिर्फ वहाँ पे जो इंडियन डियास्पोरा है वो खेलता है। तो is it the same thing happening in England as well?
नहीं। और वो सबसे ज्यादा वही जो क्लास बाउंड्रीज के बारे में हम बात कर रहे थे ना, और इकोनॉमिक बर्डन जो क्रिकेट का है उसकी वजह से है। Naturally, the immigrant story is that most immigrants, depending on how freshly emigrated they are, have less disposable income than people who have been in a country for a very long time, who have accumulated wealth, who have inherited wealth, who have not had to focus their financial burdens on establishing a new life somewhere else. So the demographic situation in England with South Asians is that yes, you have a mix of class demographics, but a greater number of people tend to be within the lower and middle income boundary. So ज़ाहिर cricket की consciousness बहुत है South Asians में, लेकिन sometimes they do not have the financial capabilities to fulfill that, depending on what area you live in as well, because there's lots of different financial burdens in different parts of the country and the UK in large as well. So where I live now is maybe a 98% white area. मेरे cricket club में मेरे team में I'm the only non-white I'm the only non-white person in my team. In the men's 11 they have a Sri Lankan guy, but he's their overseas pro. They have a couple of white South Africans who are the overseas pro. I'm the only non-white playing person at the club. There are 2 coaches who are of Asian backgrounds. But that's different. I'm the only non-white player in my club. When I was in North London, which was my previous team where I lived before, that is a very diverse area, very diverse area. Again, I was the only non-white in my team. So I think a lot of that probably has to do with class. With the female side, it has to do with culture as well. Some of it is probably because we tend to focus on education and other aspects and think of sport as a recreational thing rather than something that you should be committing as much time to as some of us do. So there's a lot of reasons for this, but no, it's still mostly white players. If you're gonna go to more diverse areas, e.g., Yorkshire, Bradford, Manchester, Birmingham, then I'm sure the situation is different, and I can't speak for that. I know there are a lot of sides that have much more Asian diversity, but the clubs that I have played at have been in very rich areas, very, 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 very financially wealthy areas, and they tend to be almost all white. I'm usually the only non-white person there.
अच्छा लड़को
Okay.
एक घंटे से ऊपर हो गया हम लोगों ने स्टार्ट किया था 45 मिनट से so we should round it up now interesting discussions
Yes.
some are बहुत valid discussion not only about cricket but also all the social things as well but we need to sum up now
Yes.
Yep. Okay, I will sum up. Just one last question. कल जब सुपर ओवर और आखिरी ओवर्स चल रहे थे उस टाइम पे आपके क्या इमोशंस चल रहे थे और किस तरह के रोलर कोस्टर से आप गुजर रही थी
हाँ इस पे मैं ये कहूंगा
और
कि
आप
जब ये सारा कुछ हो रहा था लास्ट ओवर और बल्कि एंड वाले जो लास्ट 2 ओवर थे खास तौर पे तो मैंने ये जो हमारा रेलू कट्टा ग्रुप है तो मैंने आई वाज गेटिंग रियली टेंस तो मैंने कहा कि शुक्र है कि मैं इंग्लिश या कीवी फैन नहीं हूँ आज वरना मेरी जान जा सकती थी तो आप लोगों के क्या इमोशंस थे जो वाकई इंग्लिश फैंस थे
So first and foremost, I am a cricket fan. I know it sounds like a cliche, but I think a lot of it changes when you start working in the sport as well because you just have so much cricket, and as you guys probably know, I work more in associate cricket than anything else. So really, at my core, I just care about the game and growing the game. I just wanted good cricket, and that is solidly what we got yesterday. I wanted England to win. Lekin, if England had lost yesterday, I wouldn't be sad today because we watched a great game. I wouldn't be sad because it turned viewers onto the sport. I wouldn't be sad because we had a decent World Cup. To me, that is the thing that matters most. So I wouldn't say that my emotions were all over the place. I was definitely more hurt by the fact that I scored a duck yesterday, the first duck of my life. So that was I'm still not over that. I'm still not over that, and I don't think it's going to take me a very long time. It's the first one of my life, and it's just I was undismissed all season before yesterday, and then yesterday first ball duck. It was just horrendous. So that hurt me a lot more. But I think that good cricket is the thing that's most important to see. So it was a roller coaster in the sense of, oh my God, what's going to happen? This is amazing, but not, oh no, what if England don't win? There were a few points in the game that I thought, oh, शायद हो सकता है कि इंग्लैंड ये वर्ल्ड कप ना जीते. Lekin, it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter at all. New Zealand are a phenomenal side to watch. They are full of very likable characters. I honestly think that Kane Williamson is the best batsman in the world. I think he's as a skipper. I think he's genius. That test match win in UAE was, I think, something that sets him apart from any other skipper out there today. I don't think there's another skipper who's capable of doing what he did in the UAE against Pakistan. So I would have still loved it. I still would have enjoyed it. New Zealand have always been one of my favorite teams ever since I was a kid. Stephen Fleming was a personal hero when I was growing up. So it didn't matter to me in that sense. I did think England deserved it because of a lot of great cricket, but deserve doesn't win you things necessarily, and deserve doesn't matter. I still would have loved it. So the emotions were definitely there, but only because it was one of the most exciting and thrilling games I have been able to witness, rather than because, oh my God, I want my team to win, you know?
Yep. Yeah, it really was a sensational game. Everyone has been saying
would
that
we ever
it might.
guys I have a question would we ever be able to see a better game of cricket than that
This sport just gets
Not
better and better all the time.
I don't think that we are going to get a World Cup final like that again.
No, the stars kind of aligned for that to happen, didn't they? But you never
Yeah,
say
yeah,
never, because we could be thinking about this in 20 years' time. And I mean, I know it took a very long time to get a World Cup final this good, but it could be 20 years later. And the sport is a sport that progresses. And that's what a lot of people don't realize is that power hitting was not even thought of 20 years ago. A lot of balls that are bowled are not actually bad balls. They're good length deliveries, you know? And Abdur Razak Watt became the first person about 20 years ago to hit a Yorker for six. That's
yep,
insane. That's insane. And the game has only changed and improved since then. I know we all think it favors the batsman, but let's give batsmen a little bit of credit and think about, yes, some of that is because of the rules that take place around the game, like two new balls, et cetera, et cetera. But some of that is because we get innovative and we move on and we become better as a sport. I think that's definitely going to happen. I don't know if we're going to get a World Cup final just that great. With
yep.
so much of a narrative and build up, but this sport gets better every year for me. So, never say never.
Yeah, yeah. I think usually the World Cup finals are very cagey, and one team is nervous, and the other team is maybe dominating,
Yeah.
as it used to be
Pakistan,
in the
Australia.
final
Yeah.
matches involving Australia.
Weren't all of us reminded of Pakistan and Australia at Lords
No, I mean
99 yesterday?
every final match that Australia has played in the last
Yes.
20 years has been
They've
like that.
mentally outclassed other people. I mean, cricket-wise as well, often. But that mental attitude has always been that edge. And I think when they played England in the semi-final, that proved that the mental attitude, which they had on that day as well, is excellent. But it's not enough. It has to be backed up by superior cricket too. That's what England did that day. They were
Yeah,
cool, calm, knew they could win, and they backed it up with their cricket.
yeah.
And Finch got first ball duck.
Yeah, yeah.
When you were talking about your first ball duck, I was
First ball
thinking about
duck. Yeah,
things
that's what
things can go
everybody
that
said
way as
to
well.
me. They were like,
Yeah,
I was so
much
upset.
like Baz
Yeah,
McCullum
yeah, another
in the
personal
2000.
hero.
Yeah,
Everybody
uh,
said they were like, even the best cricketers get first ball ducks, and all I thought in my head, but it took me 30 years and I hadn't had, and I played on a lot of decent levels. It was like 30 years and I hadn't had one. Why now? Why today?
Luckily, it was not in the
maybe
semi-final of a World Cup, so
Exactly, exactly. That would have been slightly worse, I think.
maybe जो इंग्लैंड ने अनलकी होना था वो आप अनलकी हो गई और इंग्लैंड को सारी की सारी लक उस
ठीक
दिन की मिल
है मैं ले लेती हूँ unluckiness को
गई.
better
हाँ
for cricket
बिल्कुल.
in general if not me.
Yeah. तो anyway, साथ में दूसरी बात ये भी है कि the way ICC has mucked up all the rules, तो ये भी मेरे ख्याल में शायद इसके बाद ना हो, तो इस तरह का वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल दोबारा से होना मुश्किल है क्योंकि
हाँ ना,
probably there will be some corrective actions इसके बाद.
किसी ने सोचा ही नहीं होगा कि यार सुपर ओवर के बाद भी कुछ होना है दुनिया के अंदर, बाकी है
हाँ,
कोई चीज रह जाएगी.
शायद ये
बिल्कुल.
ओवरथ्रोज वाला रूल भी शायद मतलब इसको भी इम्प्रूव करें, इसको खत्म कर दें कि if a throw strikes a batsman and goes for a boundary, so then it should be no runs or considered dead ball maybe.
That's a one-off
That rule gets
incident,
changed.
But that has been there for.
But that
I don't
was
think
very
that-
significant.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
very significant, of course, but that has been there
and
forever, and yeah, you cannot really go and correct everything. There would be
No,
something else next time. Yeah, maybe not
there'll
this.
always be something else, and
So
because the rules of cricket, don't forget, are laws, right? And laws are all about interpretation, all about interpretation. It is up to the interpreter. And the reality is that umpires are as much as we might like them or dislike them at times, they are tasked as the interpreters of the law on field. So there's been a lot of fuss about this, but I actually do not think that the umpires were incorrect to interpret it the way they did, because it's their job they are the official interpreters of the law at the time. And they have a lot of training. That doesn't mean that Dharmasena cannot make mistakes, or whoever cannot make mistakes. But it's a law that is relatively open to interpretation. You guys all saw it with the man cat in the IPL as well. We had the MCC who had two different statements about it, because laws are always about interpretation, as is language. So maybe what will happen is that law will be rewritten with some linguistic clarity. But these laws are reviewed regularly, and this was last reviewed in 2017 and deemed okay. So as it stands, it's the law, and the way that it was interpreted was correct. But there will always be quibbles, like you said, and it's funny that the quibbles only come after that law disadvantages someone, right? Never before.
But maybe they could next time they could change this boundary rule. That was I think ridiculous. They did not probably think that a match could go beyond a super over as well. I don't know, but that is something that they should do something about.
Okay, guys, I think and girl, I think we should wrap it up here. It has been a very interesting discussion around all sorts of topics, ranging from cricket to politics and social issues. तो बहुत मजा आया तस्नीम आपसे बात करके. आपके ट्वीट्स तो पढ़ते ही रहते हैं, लेकिन आपसे लाइव बात करके और भी अंदाजा हो कि आप क्रिकेट के बारे में कितना आपके पास नॉलेज है और थॉरो नॉलेज है और प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज भी. तो बहुत शुक्रिया हमारी पॉडकास्ट पे आने का. तो इंशाल्लाह कभी दोबारा मौका मिला तो फिर आपको इनवाइट करेंगे. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, it was very fun. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Talk to you next time. Bye.